Detached. That's what our future looks like. According to a study done by The Atlantic, less than 1% of American adults today are proficient in a foreign language they learned inside a US classroom. Some of the top world economies, like France and Italy, require 2, yet the US offers no standard curriculum for language learning. Our system rejects those who do not speak English in addition to their native language, yet most people inside the US don't know a second language.
ضيقت جرحت أكيد أنا ببلدي ممنوع أحكي لغتي.
The US is the second largest economy in the world and the largest nation for global trade, and yet Americans have some of the lowest rates of proficiency in a second language. Languages are communication. Communication is sharing ideas. And sharing ideas means an expanded economy and better international relationships. Communication is the key to keeping foreign relations alive. Communication is not only beneficial to our relations with other countries, but also with each other. Research into language learning has found that bilingualism assists with cognitive control.
But overall, the first thing that strikes me as somebody who was born in Europe and had a lot of language learning experience there, when I come here, is that the standards are very low, and I don't blame that on the students. I blame that on the teachers who don't enforce standards.
We have 5 students who are level 3 in our class.
The dismal state of our foreign language learning system is not only damaging to foreign trade and affairs, but could hold back the benefits for cognitive development for U.S. citizens. Congress needs to take action.
I wish there were more foreign languages such as like Chinese or German or Italian, stuff like that.
Right now, a combination of county and state governments set school curriculums, and the U.S. is still far from implementing a national standard. However, the federal government can supply states with educational funding, which is where the incoming president and Congress should focus their attention. The federal education budget was only 2.67% of the 2015 spending year.
The vast majority of the families who had children in that school did not have a lot of money in that immediate neighborhood. And so there are lots of schools in the area that get more money from private sources to fund initiatives.
But why is this?
For the average American, learning a foreign language is less important than for, say, the average European, especially in a small country like the one I'm from, Belgium, where you don't get a job as a waiter or as a secretary in Brussels or Antwerp or whatever if you don't manage your job in at least 4 languages, and in many cases preferably 5 or 6.
It's because America is a superpower, and so Americans expect foreigners to learn English, and then they feel that it's unnecessary to learn a foreign language.
This superpower status is one of the reasons why people think learning a foreign language won't pay off. Phrases like a waste of time have been used to dissuade Americans from learning another language. Opposition also stems from the cultural confusion that is claimed to arise in students who learn another language. The benefits of foreign language learning are numerous for the individual who learns a foreign language. Decision-making and prioritizing relate to the emotions a person experiences in a second language.
Studies have shown that they will be better at planning, prioritizing, and decision-making, and they will also have better memory and memorization skills.
Well, the pros are some of what I've already spoken about, which have to do with the cognitive development of the child, the power and the enrichment of having a second language.
Eventually want to work in Japan and have maybe a job where I get to teach other people about American culture, or come back over here and teach American people about Japanese culture as well.
Studies show that when speaking or thinking in another language, people are able to make a hard choice because their emotions can be set aside and instead they can make a decision based on logic. According to a study done by the Pew Research Center, our lack of a standard curriculum has led to low rates of fluency in American schools. Only 7% of Americans claim that their primary source of language learning was in a school. How does this deficiency affect our economy?
Foreign language starts with an individual, and then they expand their reach outwards. So this deficiency declines both the cognitive development of individuals and the global outreach.
It is here that we find how our economy has been negatively impacted. Where there are opportunities for expansion, we miss out due to the lack of communication between companies.
If you want to sell your products in Japan or China, and hopefully we can do that, it's not only one way, then somebody somewhere will need to be able to talk to the Chinese. And very often what happens now is that these middle people, not the customers, not the producers, but the few layers in between where you need to be bilingual, that these are all Chinese, Japanese, whatever.
Interpreters, translators, and diplomats. This is how most people identify anyone who speaks more than one language inside the US. This belief that there will always be people to translate for us is a detriment to our cognitive development tools and economy. So, what can Congress do? Congress can pass H.R. 3096. This way, underfunded schools would still be able to offer a range of foreign language courses. In different aspects of cognitive development, those who speak more languages test above those who don't. The economy depends on our ability to trade globally, and our ability to trade globally depends on our ability to communicate with foreign entities. To continue growing our world reach and the development of citizens, the new president and Congress should focus on increasing our world language programs. And if they don't, we will be rendered detached.